Hello, my Teaserking family. Good evening, I should say. Hope everybody had a nice day. I did. Swung a golf club. My back hurts, but what the hell? Pool's fine. I got to make some chicken, not for dinner tonight, but just because it's been in the fridge a few days, so I better make it. Anyway, let's take a quick look at gold and silver. It got hit pretty good today. Well, silver did, but it was up and then it went down. So let's see what we got now. Silver is 38 and a quarter and gold 33.50. So gold really jumped to 33.70, 33.40, 33.50. So it's sitting in that range. Silver had gotten into the 39s in the morning, and then the 10 o'clock drop, and it crushed it to about 38.20, and it's 38.22. However, that's good because it's in the 38s, which we were hoping for 2 days ago. We were glad to see 38. Started at about 38.40. Again, it's the U.S. I don't know what the hell they're doing because they have to cover the derivatives when people ask for delivery. Where are they going to get the silver? They won't. Are they not going to play COMEX? They won't last long because China's not going to let them not pay on the COMEX. So I think people are just ignoring it and buying elsewhere at a much higher price. No baseball today because of the All-Star game. I heard they were talking about like the home run derby and all that crap, and nobody really cares about it. And they brought it up about the All-Star game, and it used to be good, and now it sucks in all sports. Hockey was great. Basketball was great. Football was great. And baseball was really great. So if you go back to the 65 to 75, it was great. You'd have, the thing was like growing up in Detroit, it's American League. You'd never see Clemente and Willie Stargell and Gibson, and you'd never Bob Gibson and Carlton and Pete Rose and Mike Schmidt and Johnny Bench and half the Cincinnati Reds. You'd never see them because you'd have the game of the week on Saturday afternoons. Otherwise, you'd see the Tigers playing the American League teams. So you'd see Frank Robinson and Brooks Robinson and Boog Powell and Rod Carew and Tony Oliva and those guys. But you would never see the National League. So the All-Star game was your chance to watch the Willie Mays and Hank Aaron, which you've never seen on the field because they're never on TV. Bobby Bonds before Barry, and there was Stargell, and you'd see him in the World Series, but you'd only see the Pirates or the Orioles or something. But Mays and Aaron and Clemente, you'd never see. So that's what made the All-Star game so special, is you would see everybody together. And there was just something about going, shit, there's Johnny Bench, there's Pete Rose, there's Willie Mays, there's Hank Aaron, even Mickey Mantle, if you saw it in 66, 67, you would see Mickey Mantle on the field with Mays and Aaron. I got a card, the 1968 card or 65, and it had I think it was a 65. It had Roger Maris, Mickey Mantle, Al Kaline, and Norm Gash. There's another card that had Willie Mays, Mickey Mantle, and Harmon Killebrew like home run leaders. And there's something about seeing all that. Now they've ruined the All-Star game in every sport. The guys don't try. They're all worried about getting hurt. What the hell is that all about? See, these are guys that are not playing for the love of it. They're playing for the money. And therefore they look at it, I don't want to get hurt. Well, that's not why you play. That's not why you're an all-star. And that's not why you're in the all-star game. This should be, the starters should go 3 innings like they used to. Nolan Ryan, he'd pitch the first 3 innings against Tom Seaver. And then you'd get the other guys would pitch maybe 2 innings. And then you'd have Raleigh Fingers or Dennis Eckersley come in the 9th inning to get the save. and you'd have Pete Rose hitting 3 times in the game, and Willie Mays and Mantle and those guys. Clemente, he'd play the whole freaking game. And now these guys are just such wimps and such losers. And, I can pitch an inning. It's really a shame of what they've done to baseball. So I was listening to the guy, and he's talking about analytics. And I go, this has got nothing to do with analytics. Well, the pitchers know where to pitch the ball. Well, yeah, that hasn't changed. Bob Gibson was throwing curveballs and fastballs, and Jerry Kuzma was throwing a screwball, and Tom Seaver and Maddox and all those guys. They didn't need analytics, and the guys still hit 300. A guy like Willie Mays is going to hit 300 with analytics or without. I mean, come on. You knew where Willie Mays liked the ball. What do you think the catcher's doing? He doesn't. That shit, we threw him a fastball and he hit a home run. Let's not do that again. So I don't buy the analytics. I just think the league's so watered down. The pitchers aren't major league material. They come in for an inning. Well, they used to pitch, Nolan Ryan would go 9. Jack Morris would go 9. I'm crossing errors there a little bit. Mickey Lolich pitched 3 games in the World Series. They wouldn't do that now. Oh, my God, he can't. He's got to wait 5 days. Steve Carlton, Bob Gibson, Lolich, McLean, these guys would go every 2, 3. But only the Orioles who had 4 20-game winners. You'll never see 20-game winners again. It's absolutely terrible baseball. The hitting, to find 300 hitters, there's 5 or 6, 7 in the league. They go to OPS. It's just like inflation, right? Inflation, what do they call it? They call it cost, because it really hides the fact of how high the inflation really is. So instead of saying it's money printing, they go, well, it's cost and it's year over year. Oh, look, it's only 3%. That hides the real inflation. And that's what they're doing with the OPS. It hides that everybody's hitting 250, 260. And there's no Willie Mazes, and there's no Hank Aaron's, and there's no Harmon Killebrews and Mickey Mantle and those guys. There aren't any. There's no Clemente. There's no Sturgill. There is none of that. And it's a joke. And that's how bad baseball is. Why are they trying to get the game over? Why is 10th inning they put a guy on second to get the game over? Why? Is the game bad? Did the game become bad? Yeah, it's watered down. Why are you trying to get it over quickly? Oh, because the kids who aren't watching baseball anyway don't have the mentality to watch a game. They can't fathom a whole game. They got to go home and play video games. That's bullshit. Well, you're killing it for the baseball fans. You don't have it on TV, kills it for the baseball fans. And that's all I can remember. The 72 game, Reggie Jackson hit the ball off the light tower at Tiger Stadium. I don't remember seeing it. I don't think it was on TV in Detroit. I don't remember seeing it live, but I mean, you just had some great, all those Oakland A's and the New York Mets of the 70s, the Orioles and the Pirates and all those guys in the 70s. What a great all-star game it was. And you still had Willie Mays and Hank Aaron and Bobby Bonds and all those guys. You had Hall of Famers playing, and they played the whole game because they loved the game. Now you have prima donnas playing. Oh, he can only pitch an inning. Oh, he might get hurt. Well, we wouldn't want him to get hurt in a all-star game. Well, I'll go ask Pete Rose and Ray Fosse. Ray Fosse got hurt because Pete Rose said, "Screw you. You're blocking a play, and I'm gonna take you out." And he won the game, and that's how he played. Fosse was an idiot for blocking it. He should have just kind of sidestepped them and tagged them. I mean, you could see Pete Rose coming in at 100 miles an hour. You better get out of the way. You're not going to be able to take that. But that's the difference in all All-Star games. You don't have the Steelers in the 70s talent. Talent in every league is way down. I mean, when you got Jalen Hurts and Tagovailoa and now Cam Ward and what's his name? Caleb, when these are your quarterbacks, you got problems. I mean, yeah, you got big problems, right? In the 60s, you at least had Namath and Starr and Unitas. Tarkington sucked, but you had better players in every sport. That's more baseball with those guys. Basketball, the best was in the '80s. I mean, you had 25 Hall of Famers playing. Now you got none. Oh well, we'll make whatchamacallit, we'll make him a Hall of Famer. Oh, we'll make LeBron a Hall of Famer. He couldn't even get off the bench in the '80s. If he was on the Pistons, he wouldn't see any playing. He'd have had Rodman, and they would have had Sally, and they would have had Mark Aguirre, Lambert, Isaiah Dumars. You wouldn't have saw LeBron on the Pistons. He'd be fighting for bench time for the eighth player or something. Why are the leagues watered down? Well, a lot of it is this football where these players are playing 6 and 7 years and changing schools because they don't start. They're not learning how to get better. Michael Jordan got cut from his junior year or sophomore year high school team. The guy cut him. He got pissed. They kept losing to the Pistons. He got pissed. But you don't see that now. What do? The guy goes and cries. Oh, look at this guy from USC, Miller Moss, and he got beaten out by Maivia, The Rock's cousin, I'm sure, from Vegas, transferred to USC. He's their starter now, a very good player. And Miller Moss transfers to Louisville because he doesn't want to sit on the bench because he's so good he couldn't beat out Maivia. Oh, yeah, I want to draft that guy. Yeah, let me draft him because of what? And you're getting guys that are good runners. Hey, the real D, how are you today? Talking football. So we've seen enough. We did mention the gold price in the beginning, but we're going to talk Mountain West football. But I just want to get over like the All-Star game. It's just a joke. You don't have any Willie Mazes or Hank Aaron's or Frank Robinsons anymore, or Mickey Mantle, of course, and Bench, and even Yogi Berra and those guys. You just don't see guys of that caliber playing. Like they're asking, why is the U.S. soccer team not good? Who the fuck would play soccer? You're playing football or you're playing basketball. You're not playing soccer. Soccer's not an American game. So you'll never get a good U.S. soccer team as long as you have the NFL and the NBA. And even Major League Baseball, you have very few North American athletes. You're starting to get a few Japanese pitchers and mostly Latin American guys. I mean, how many times do I read a pitcher and he's from Dominican Republic, not drafted? You don't have a Clemente guy. Who's the best player in the league? Aaron Judge. I think he's an American. Shotani's Japanese, can't even speak English. What an embarrassment. What in Rome do is the Romans. You better learn freaking English. So how do you get behind that guy? It's just ridiculous. But that's the thing. You don't have the Willie Mays, Hank Aaron type of people playing baseball anymore. But yet in basketball, you've got more of the American people, although they suck. When the best player is some guy I never heard of, and some guy from Croatia or Luka Bronzi, you got big problems in your league. So you wonder why they're trying to speed up baseball, because nobody wants to watch it because you don't have a Mickey Mantle or a Willie Mays. That's the problem. And then to go and do this girls softball start at second base in the 10th inning, what the hell is that all about? You're just changing the rules. So I had a conversation with the socialist yesterday at the gym, and I'm riding the bike. He goes, well, I think they should change. They need to update the Constitution because, there's 350 million people now, and we need an updated Constitution. I'm like, no, you don't. Constitution's fine if you'd leave it alone and stop changing it. It's fine. It's an economic masterpiece. Free trade, gold-backed currency, low taxes, low government, laissez-faire. That's what you want in a constitution, because we've seen communism has never worked. Socialism and / Keynesian, which is socialism, has never worked. The only thing that's worked is America with capitalism. Sweden went to it, Norway, England used to be. All these countries were capitalists, and they all became great. And then as soon as you went off the gold standard and went into the, why does every country have a central bank? They're total communists. They want to control the markets, but it should be the people controlling it. So anyway, I just shook my head at him like, why are you a communist? I mean, why do you think it's better? And you live in America. Why wouldn't you think capitalism is better? Oh no, they need to rewrite the Constitution. Well, where am I going? Is they want to change the rules, like baseball, football's changing the rules with the kickoff. Well, you're fucking around with it. It's the best sport ever, and you want to make the kickoff different, and you want to make the extra point 30 yards, and it's just ridiculous. What are you doing? The extra point is a reward for getting a touchdown. That's why it was at the 2-yard line. It just kicked the extra point. It's not to be made to be a 30-yard extra point. Anyway, it's just frustrating. The play, you have some good players in pro football, probably the best sport with the best players. Basketball is absolutely horrible, and baseball is, as you can see, very you got Skubal and Scanes and Fried, and that's about it. And the rest of the pitchers suck. As I say, I don't know how many are on a team. There's I know 5 starters, of which 2 or 3 always get hurt. Why is Shotani hurt? He's pitching every 5th day, 100 pitches, yet he's hurt. Well, then what's the point of the every 5th day, 100 pitches? What's that point? Why are you doing that? So it doesn't make sense. All right. Getting off topic. So let's get back on it. So we start with Boise State, and they got a good quarterback, Manson. I'll get into my spreadsheet and the stats in a little bit. San Jose State, their quarterback is back. I'm not going to even care about. I'll mark my own. San Jose State lost 5 of its 6 Mountain West. It must build its talented second. So you can throw on San Jose State. The key is they got the Navy coach, Neo Mautula. He's their coach. He's a very good coach. San Jose State, with a good coach, will be right there. Vegas, they lost their quarterback, Maivia, to USC. The other one, I think, is gone. They lost 10 all Mountain West players and ranks bottom. Well, whatever. UNLV has high hopes under first-year head coach Dan Mullen. Dan Mullen coached Mississippi State and Dak Prescott, so probably not too good. The Air Force, their quarterbacks graduated. They usually have a killer defense. Usually they are a good passing and running option team. So we'll see. It's hard because how many went through the portal, how many left? Although I don't know that you're leaving the Army, Navy, and Air Force. You're pretty much there. You're not leaving Army for Northwestern or something like that. We'll take a look. We'll know better in the spreadsheet. Colorado State, Fowler Nicolsi, he's a decent quarterback. Justin Marshall looks like, I guess he's a good running back. Rams have a weak defense. Now, I really like their coach, Jay Norvell. I can't believe he's still at Colorado State. I would have thought he'd be at a better school. Like he should be at Oklahoma, or there's another guy. Maybe the Florida State guy should be at Oklahoma. Not where they are. Fresno State, they got a new coach, Matt Entz. They did lose Mikey Keene, who's actually at Michigan, and Michigan's got Underwood, this freshman who is good against high school players. This is where I warn everybody. But they win. I don't know, what is this? They ranked 30th in FBS in returning productivity on offense. What the fuck does that mean? I hate these stats because they're all meaningless, but they make them sound important. And it's really, it's like, what's WAR in baseball? I have no idea. And if I don't have an idea, but you want to use it. OPS is because nobody can hit. So they look at OPS as a batting average, and it's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. So it's how many times does a guy walk, plus of his hits, how many are extra base hits? So the guy hits 210, like this guy on the Tigers, Torkelson, but since he hits a lot of home runs, his 210 average is terrible, but his OPS then is high because of the hits he hits. A lot of them are home runs. And we're back to Dave Kingman. We got Dave Kingman with his 220 average and 50 home runs. Oh, yeah, and they never won anything, did they? Hawaii, they have a new quarterback, Alejo. I have no idea. Their coach is Timmy Chang, who's struggling. He does the Hawaii offense, but the defense was getting better. Their defense it says defense hasn't been average. It was pretty good last year. Nevada, despite record, Pac was more competitive under first-year head coach Jeff Schote. Nevada lost a lot of players. Their quarterback Lewis is on the ACC team. So I don't know. Nevada's had some good teams, but not now. Utah State, first-year head coach Brocken Mendenhall used to coach BYU. Then he went to New Mexico, where they were pretty good, and now he's at Utah State. I'm surprised he's still coaching and why he left BYU, unless he was forced out. So he went from BYU to, I think, Virginia or somewhere in the ACC to New Mexico, now Utah State. He was in an interview. They'd go, well, why did you leave your last job? What's wrong with you? The offense is almost a complete rebuild with plenty of question marks. Utah State is one of the Mountain West's toughest schedule, whatever. Wyoming, they have a very weak offense. They usually have a very good defense. We will see. San Diego State again. Danny O'Neill, their quarterback, transferred to Wisconsin. If Wisconsin's getting San Diego State quarterbacks, they got a big problem. Essex did a good job adding offensive talent. They never have a good offense. They always have a good defense. And New Mexico is the Z team. New coach, Jason Eck from Idaho, is used to doing more with less. Lobos lost transfers. And they lost stud quarterback. Devin Dampier went to Utah. We'll keep an eye on Utah. I didn't know he was a stud. I did know he was pretty good, Dampier, at New Mexico, and they ran a lot. Okay, so let's get into it. Okay, I am going to go to my spreadsheet, and I will pop in a couple of minutes to see if there's any comments. But if I don't answer, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just in my spreadsheet. So Mountain West. Okay. Boise State is a B teams, 39 points a game, 21, but they lost Gentry. Madsen, 23-6, and Danielson is the coach, and he's been there 1+ year. So he's been there a year. So he's a relatively new coach. Boise averaged 37 points a game, but they ran for 240 with Gentry. So it's like losing Barkley. It's hard. The new running back. See here, the 6th-year player. Why are they playing more than 4 years of college? It's all fucked up, isn't it? They gave up 22, but they lost to Penn State, and it wasn't even a game. So we'll see. They open at South Florida, which is going to be heat, but the quarterback's there, so that should be good for them. San Jose State, again, they got the Navy head coach who's very good. They scored 28 a game, gave up 28 a game, which is surprising. Walker Eckert is back. 13 touchdowns and 10 picks. Not much. 209. They don't run the ball very well, which is surprising for the Navy head coach. They only ran for 82 yards a game. They passed for 321, but not with this quarterback. It was 209 with Eggert, so they must have had another quarterback. So a passing team with a decent defense, 27 points a game. And again, the Navy coach, Niamolatolo, was his first year last year. UNLV scored 36, gave up 22. They're going with Alex Orji from Michigan. Are they serious? This guy sucks. He can't complete a pass, but he's a good runner, so I don't know what Vegas is just going to run. Dan Mullen from Mississippi State, so he thinks this guy's another Dak Prescott, who, by the way, sucks. So we'll see. I mean, Mullen, I'm not impressed with. He was decent at Florida for a while. Orji sucks, so I don't know what they're doing. A 22 defense, so you got to be careful with Vegas. Orji could run the ball, but he can't pass at all. I would think they would just get on him. The Air Force, an under team, scored 18, gave up 23. They got a new quarterback, Josh Johnson, and their coach is the same. Troy Calhoun is an excellent coach. Again, I'm surprised he's still at Air Force and not at Oklahoma. Oklahoma is just missing it. They're not getting the best coach. Why they keep this? This is like Daniel Jones on the Giants. Why are you keeping Daniel Jones? What is the point? You see he's not good, but you keep him 5 years. Well, it's the same thing here. Why are you keeping the Oklahoma coach when he's terrible? And you could have Troy Calhoun. You could have a lot of these coaches that are good, and you're sticking with the bad coach. I don't know. Oklahoma should be able to draw talent, and they're not. They didn't even have 500 last year. So we'll see the Air Force defensively. They've got 4 back. They're usually a very good defensive team, and with Calhoun, they shouldn't change. They ran for 224 a game, and the defense was very good, 341. You could only pass for 188 on them and 153 on the ground. Colorado State, an under team, scored 25, give up 25. Fowler Nikolsky, 14-8, nothing great. Norwell. Now, Norwell should be Oklahoma coach. Very good. And Justin Wilcox, I think, is the other one. I think he's in Cal or somewhere in the ACC, somewhere on the West Coast. Why isn't he coaching Oklahoma? So Norvell, pretty balanced, 384, 214, and 171. A little better passing. Help if I look at the right team. And defensively, they gave up about 400 yards a game. So you're looking at a very good coach. Quarterback's decent, nothing special. Their defense, 25 a game, nothing special. We'll probably go over a lot with them. Fresno State, E.J. Warner. Have you ever heard of the name Warner? Yes, it is. Kurt Warner's kid. Last year, 17-13. He was at similar school. Where did they get him from? I think it was at Rice or something. Oh, he started at Rice, and he did nothing at Rice last year. It's always Kurt Warner. Somebody's not Kurt Warner. They scored 26 and 25 with Mikey Keene, but you got E.J. Warner now. So with Keene, they threw for 242 and 98. Warner should be a good passer, but we'll see. And then rushing, they gave up 139 on the ground, 216 passing. So they ended up, Fresno was a 26-25. But they did play Michigan and had them beat. They didn't throw the interception in the end zone. They were right there in the game. Hawaii. Scored 22, give up 26. Micah Alajano threw 6 touchdowns and no interceptions. He probably played 1 or 2 games. Timmy Chang's still there. Don't know why. Not a lot of offense. 97 yards rushing, 268 passing, only 365 total. Defensively, they gave up 26 a game, 165 rushing, 211 passing. So Hawaii, we'll see. You got Chang. Are they losing a lot of players? So again, but you lose guys in the transfer pool who probably suck anyway. I would think, if you had a few good players, they might go to the Big Ten or the SEC or something, or even the Pac-10. But now that's gone. Although they can still go to Pac-10 schools, but we'll see with Hawaii. All we know is Timmy Chang's still there, and it was a 22-26, so they're okay. Nevada. Jeff Schote is the coach. It was his first year last year. Nevada scored 23, gave up 28. Brock Purdy's brother, I assume, is the new quarterback. Schote, the coach. They were rebuilding last year. Normally, they're not. They're a pretty good team. Colin Kaepernick went there. So we'll have to see what they do. But basically, they got to get the defense a little better. So they're kind of an average E team. Utah State scored 32 a game, gave up 38. They're an over team. Barnes from Utah is the new quarterback. He was okay at Utah. Nothing's just the same. No, we got Bronco Mendenhall. Guess that. The Bronco. So he was at Virginia and he was at New Mexico. He's a good coach. He was at BYU for 100 years. So a good coach. They should be better. He should know how to play Utah. So in Utah, if Utah State, I think they do play Utah. No, they don't. Wow, that's weird. Usually those rivalries play each other. Like Utah will play BYU and stuff like that. So Bryson Burns, he's a senior. I don't know, somewhat experienced. I wasn't impressed with them. It's their defense. It should get a little bit better. This is a good coach, so we should see a better thing. They might get more recruits because of that. Wyoming. Notice how I'm not reading from the magazine. I'm doing my own. I read the magazine and filled it in my spreadsheet. All right, Wyoming. Guy named Caden Anderson is the quarterback. He was 6 touchdowns, 3 picks last year, so he probably mopped up maybe in the bowl game. They scored 19 a game, gave up 28. They've never been a good offensive team, even with Josh Allen there. And I thought Josh Allen sucked there. He just had a big arm, but he didn't know what team to throw it to, and he got sacked a lot. 140 yards rushing and 190 yards passing, 327. I mean, if you can't get 400 yards, you got a problem. Defensively, they gave up 410, 200 rushing, 220 passing. I don't know about the quarterback. I don't know about the defense. They kept most of their roster intact. Big deal. And Jay Soriel was his first year last year, so this is the guy's second year. Wyoming's a tough place. I mean, who wants to go to Wyoming in the cold? San Diego State scored 21, gave up 30, so they're kind of a weak team. Usually they had a very good defense. Denegal from Michigan State will be their new quarterback, I believe. He sucks. Lewis from Kent State is the coach. Pretty bad, as you can see by the 30 defense. With this coach, it was the worst finish since the end of the dismal Chuck Long era, 2006, 2008. So they're in big trouble, San Diego State. They're not the defensive team they've been. They usually had Marshall Faulk, and they had these great running backs. Not anymore. So if this is their quarterback, they're in trouble. And then we got New Mexico, who, again, lost their coach. They got Lane, and a quarterback from Idaho. Eck is the new coach. Overall, he's 23-13, but this is his first year at New Mexico, as New Mexico lost their coach. So you don't even know what this guy is, Eck. They scored 35 a game, gave up 38. I wouldn't think their defense would be any better with this guy. I'm not sure. They had a real balanced offense, 250 running, 230 passing. So there was a 500-yard offense and a 500-yard defense. They were an over team. We hit them hard over. But we'll see. The new quarterback, Montana. So they got Montana State's running back. Oh boy. So they lost Dampier, which you can't. The coach leaves, he goes. That makes sense. Let's see if we get anything on this Lane guy. Quarterback remains a question for new head coach who brought in a quarterback from Idaho. So this Lane's from Idaho. They're trying to pump up his numbers. 1,477 yards, 14 touchdowns, 4 picks. Yeah, not too good. And that is the Mountain of West. So the best offense, Boise 39, UNLV 36, but you got a different quarterback. New Mexico 33, you got a new coach. Utah State 32. San Jose State, I think, will be better. Fresno State, Kurt Warner's kid, I don't know. Colorado State with Norvell should get better. Hawaii with Timmy Chang, he's been there, but he's got a new quarterback who wasn't bad if he was 6-0. And San Diego State sucks, Wyoming sucks, and the Air Force should be our best under team. So that be our mountain. I look at the Mountain West. We have the MAC and Sun Belt to go, and we got to find out where Oregon State and Washington and our Pac-2. I'll include those maybe with the MAC or the Sun Belt or whatever. So that's what we're looking at. You're looking at all these changes, and you have to analyze and come back with all these changes. What I do better than anybody is understand the changes. Is the quarterback any good, or is he any bad, or is he bad? And I look at touchdowns, interceptions is the best way I can map. Did they get a good, is it a good quarterback, or is it a bad quarterback? Orgy, I saw at Michigan, sucks. He couldn't hit a 10-yard pass. He'd overthrow the guy. He was a very good runner. So if you just run with him and then you bring in a passing quarterback, you can probably be okay. But to think Orgy's a quarterback, that's like saying Lamar's a quarterback. There's no chance. So you got to be very careful with that. So usually early on, the first couple of weeks, we stick with LSU quarterback. I'm not buying Arch Manning at all, and I don't buy Ohio State going with an Alabama quarterback. That's a huge mistake. Alabama will be interesting with DeBoer. You tend to look at the coach, and then you tend to look at the returning quarterback. So that's how you win early. You look for you don't know with the Z team because of all the NIL and all the transfers. That's why you got to look at the coach. And I've said if it's a bad coach or not. So Brock Mendenhall, I expect that team to get better, Utah State. Calhoun's still at Air Force. I expect them to still have a strong defense. Boise, okay, well they're a pretty good team. They got a good quarterback. That's not the problem. Um, but then San Diego State, that's the problem. That's a bad coach. And if a coach is 3-10, again, it's Daniel Jones. At what point do you realize he sucks? I mean, Jalen Daniels at Washington is good right away. That's how it should be. He's either good right away or he's not. Bo Nix, okay, needed a little bit of seasoning, but for the first year, he was good. Penix was good right away. He was good before he stepped on the field. The coach was just too stupid to put him in because he had Kirk Cousins crying. Oh, now Kirk Cousins, my arm was really sore and I had a broken back and my leg was broken. And, what a bunch of bullshit. That's why he's a loser. He's a whiner, Kirk Cousins. He should never mention his arm was sore. What is he mentioning that for? Everybody's hurt. It's football. Like North Dallas 40, and they're in the huddle, and Mac Davis and the guy goes to Mac Davis, but I hurt bad, and Mac Davis goes, we all hurt. It's fucking football. Just play. Shut the fuck up. I mean, that's how it is. It's football. You're all hurt. So Kirk Cousins having a hurt arm, go, you better play through it. That's why he's not good. He's a baby. He should just stoic it out, not think about it, and just go, yeah, so what? My arm hurts. It's football. Just, take a shot and off you go. Because for the money you're making, buddy, if you can walk, you should be playing and not crying about it. But you can see those guys right away. So to hear Caleb, well, he needs a new coach. No, he doesn't. He had Cliff Kingsbury as his offensive coordinator, was the offensive coordinator for Daniels, and we see what he did. And he had Lincoln Riley, one of the best offensive minds, his second year, and he sucked his second year. Caleb was terrible. With those two guys, and you're not good, really. Oh, and now you're going to get good at Chicago, and now you think Ben Johnson, what's he going to do? Jared Goff is good on play action passes only, and that's what he did. They ran the ball a lot, Detroit. If you watch on YouTube a Detroit game, go watch the Detroit-Minnesota game or the Washington game. It's 90% first down runs. Then on second down, it's play action pass, which is Goff is good at. Well, Caleb is going to run around. Caleb can't read a defense. Caleb, I question his ability to read coverage and to read his receivers open. And he just doesn't do anything. I don't know that Ben Johnson's a good coach. I don't know he's a good offensive coordinator. Okay, the Lions scored a lot, so he knew what to do with a great offensive line and good running backs and good receivers and an average quarterback. He was able to do all these fancy doodly-doos, but they couldn't just run straight at it. And on the fourth down plays, he was terrible. He'd run behind the right tackle because he's good, but why is the right tackle there? He should be the left tackle because you can't pay both your tackles $20 million. You don't have the payroll for that, and you need defense. But I don't know that he's the answer. I don't know because you still got Caleb. As bad as Goff is, he's still better than Caleb. Caleb, I doubt, is he'll never be good. He'll never be Daniels, Penix, Bo Nix. Cam Ward won't be good. But again, so if Caleb couldn't win with those two guys, Kingsbury and Lincoln Riley, and why was he drafted number one? I mean, it's just ridiculous. It really is. How bad. And then they gave the GM a raise at Chicago for what? Hiring Ben Johnson, which you still don't know if he's any good, and drafting Caleb instead of Daniels. Why are you rewarding the guy who's an idiot? So, again, that's what you're looking for, and that's what we can spot in college is that's how we knew Daniels was good, by watching him at LSU light up Alabama and put up a number on Georgia. This guy's good. Penix did it to Oregon twice, and Oregon had a killer defense, and he won both games. Penix is good. You can't deny it. Well, he was injured at Indiana 5 years ago. Well, yeah, obviously he got better. The 2 years at Washington, he was a superstar. Oh, he's old. Well, he's 25. Tom Brady played in his 40s. What are you talking about? Old. What do you want, an 18-year-old out there? Come on. So it's really ridiculous. A lot of these analysts just don't know what they're talking about. Sort of like bricks and gold. They give this story and they want you to believe something that just isn't true. And it's, if you don't know, you believe it. Um, but anyway, so I think in the beginning, we look at the coach. We look at last year. So like Clemson, their quarterback's back, but they play LSU and their quarterback's back. So this is going to be a war this first week. USC gets Missouri State or something, something who's at Division One now. And I think with Maivia, I think USC is going to pound the shit out of them because we've got the coach who's an offensive coach. He's a terrible defensive coach, but we have the quarterback who I know from Vegas is very good because that's what I do is I watch the stats. You can see Maivia is good. Then he went to USC, so I'm all jacked up to take Vegas last year, and I lose my quarterback. He goes and sits on the bench at USC. You're like, what the fuck are you doing? Well, Miller Moss looked good against the third string of whoever they played in the bowl game. Threw 5 touchdowns. Well, yeah, I was against the third string. So it took him way too long to get Maivia in the game, just like it took him way too long to get Penix in the game. So with that said, we know the good coaches are good coaches because they win. And we know that's why I question Oklahoma. That coach is terrible. Man, what's this guy? Oh, here I am. Okay. I happen to be in the beginning of the SEC. Oklahoma, Brent Venables. I just thought of it as I'm turning to the page. So you got Brent Venables, terrible coach. He's 22-17 after 3 years at Oklahoma. He didn't go to like Kentucky or South Dakota State or Utah State. He went to Oklahoma. You don't even need to recruit. Yeah, come on, we'll take you. And so his offense is I don't even think it's Arnold. It's Mateer, who's from Washington State, who's pretty good, but running a totally different offense. That's the key. When you get the transfer, he can run offense A, but if you're running offense B, what are you going to do? He's not going to be good. And that happened to Jordan Love at Utah State. He had a great junior year. And then he coaches. They changed the offense and he sucked. Now he's at Green Bay. He's in the third offense and he's not very good at it. He needs to be in that first offense, and that's what should happen. But that's what the problem is. So he's not, you get a transfer, you've got to know what offense they're in. Alex Orgy ran an offense at Michigan. It was terrible. They scored 10 points a game. What are you going to run it there, wherever he's at? This is a problem. That's why the transfers are tricky because they run different systems. Even the offensive line, the receivers, there's different styles of offense. And you've got to see that. And therefore, you have to, if you're getting a transfer, he's got to fit your offense. You can't, he's great at offense A, but then he comes to offense B. It's like all these Alabama receivers. They ran a sneaky offense at Alabama, and all the receivers would just go out and they were faster than the safeties, and then they would hit them. So it made Tagliavua look good. It made Mac Jones look good. It made Devontae Smith look good. But then they get in the NFL, it's a totally different offense, and they all suck. So if you're going to run the Alabama offense, I would draft an Alabama receiver or quarterback. But you're not, because it's a college offense. You're not going to run it. So therefore, these guys are useless. And it shows up. The running back on the Lions from Alabama is okay. He's fast. He's not good, but he's fast. And then the wide receiver is terrible. He drops passes a lot. getting a little bit better last year, but he's just fast. So Alabama paid for fast guys, and the guy drafted fast guys. So um, they fit. The coordinator was able to use them, but that's where I linger on the Bears. Ben Johnson doesn't have a fast Alabama running back or a fast wide receiver from Alabama, and he doesn't have the line. He doesn't have the good right tackle. He doesn't even have a good line, and it's not together. He signed 2 or 3 free agents or trades, and they're not. They got to play together. It's got to be a unit, the offensive line, and he's got a bad quarterback, so he's in for a struggle. But that's the thing with these Alabama guys. It's a system on offense, and you don't run it, and that's the problem. So the Lions went kind of more wide open, and that's why they're okay. It's a lot of dipsy doodle. So with a new offensive and defensive coordinator, you have no data on for the Lions. They weren't even smart enough to get a seasoned offensive and defensive coordinator. They took guys that had never done it before. And anyway, that's the other thing. If it's new, you have no data. We run into it with baseball, a 0-0 with a 0-0 ERA. You have no data. You don't know if he's good, bad, or ugly. And in football, the new coach, we got all these new quarterbacks. So you stay away from the new quarterbacks to let them get 2 or 3 games, at least 2 or 3 games in, if they play a good team. So we'll know a lot about Archie Manning and about this new guy, Slayan from Ohio State, right away, because they play each other with the very good defenses. I'm a little curious at Ohio State with Pat Patricia or Matt Patricia, same thing. How he's going to be, because he's terrible. I can't believe Ohio State hired the guy. Boy, is he bad. I don't think Ohio State's going to do very well this year. This quarterback sucks. They got the wide receiver. Ibuka's gone. The running backs are gone. They'll have offensive linemen. They always have. And they should have a very good defense. They always have, although the defensive coordinator. So, this Ohio State-Texas game, I think will be a very low-scoring game, and I think we will learn that both the quarterbacks will look bad. The defenses will control the game because the quarterbacks don't know what they're doing, and there's no way they're going to let Archie Manning scramble around. And the guy from Alabama, I have no idea what he is. Is he a running? Is he a dual? Is he a pocket passer? Alabama likes these running guys. That's why he transferred, because the Boer comes in. He wants a drop back passer. He wants a guy like Penix who doesn't run, who throws darts all over the place. So I think we'll see what Alabama does. So you watch the first game, especially when they play the high school team, and try to get a grip on the stats of the quarterback to learn, is he any good or not? And that's kind of what you look for. So right now you play what you know. We know Clemson. We know LSU. We know their quarterbacks are good. We know USC, Maivia, very good. Penn State, Drew Aller, good running backs. And the coaching, Michigan, they got Mikey Keene. So we can go with Mikey Keene if they start the other kid. Probably some turnovers, but that's okay. Illinois got a seasoned quarterback. So you got to go where the seasoned quarterbacks are. Let's go down the list. We got time. We're at an hour. All right. So what I'm going to do is read the returning quarterbacks for us. And I have what team they're on, because when I pull Google stats, it tells me they're on the new team. So if we go down the list, the Big 12's got a lot of them. Burn Morton, Texas Tech, 27-8 last year. We probably want to bet on him. Baylor, Sawyer Robinson, 28-8. Kedon Salter from, I think it's Liberty, is now on Colorado, 15-6, but a good runner. Josh Hoover, TCU, 27-11. So right there, and Sam Levitt, 24-6. Although they lost Scatterboo, and then Rocco Beck, 25-9. So of those 6 quarterbacks. They're all returning. We like Texas Tech. At Baylor, we love Baylor. Hoover at TCU, they're good offense. I'm not sure what Arizona State does without Scadaboo. Rocco Beck, 25-9. Iowa State, very good. So in the first game, you got Kansas State, Iowa State. Well, Avery Young for Kansas State is 25-10. So Rocco Beck, this game's dead even, 25-9 to 25-10. So we like the dog there, although the game's in Ireland for some reason. Are we going to play in every country? Are they going to start playing in Japan and China? Although China won't let them out, and if they get gold, they won't be able to leave the country with the gold. But that's the idea, right? Jalen Daniels at Kansas, 14-12, not very good. Devon Damper, 12 touchdowns, 12 picks, not very good. Let's see. Kenyon Jenkins, Florida International, 22-8. Louisiana Tech, Evan Bullock, 14-3. So he doesn't turn the ball over a lot. Let's see. Keep in mind, Delaware and Missouri State are Division I, twos that are now in Division I. SEC, Joey Aguilar is now at Tennessee from App State, 23-14. Arch Manning, I don't get it. He's 9-2. Lenoris Seller, I don't get it. He's 18-7. Good runner, but nothing. Garrett Nussmeier, LSU, 29-12. Langway at Florida, 12-9. Jackson Arnold, 12-3 at Auburn from Oklahoma. Daggio Pavia, our number one, 20-4 at Vanderbilt. And he beat Alabama and lost to Texas by 3, all by his lonesome. Very good scrambler, very good thrower. John Mateer, we were talking about at Oklahoma from Washington State, 29-7. Pretty good if they run the same offense. The sleeper here is Connecticut. Joe Fagnano is 20-4 if he didn't graduate. I don't think I didn't get to Connecticut yet. Let's see. Southern Miss has Braylon Braxton, 19-2, which is really good. At best, we bet Southern Miss isn't over. They give up 38 a game. In the MAC, Ohio has Peter Navarro, 13-11. Toledo has Tucker Gleason, 24-8. He's the best quarterback. Ben Finley is at Akron, I think. Yeah, he's 16-9. The rest are new. Michael Madsen at Boise, so you can be comfortable with them, 23-6. Then you got Egon at San Jose State, 13-10. Kurt Warner Jr., 17-13. Fowler Nikolsky, 14-8. Colorado State. So nothing there. Maybe Boise. Oregon State, Malik Murphy's a very good quarterback from Texas. Then he went to Duke, and now he's at Oregon State, 26-12. So he's pretty good. The AAC, do we have anybody good? We've got Caden Simonza at Tulane, 25-10. Brandon Lewis went from Nevada to Memphis, 16-7. Owen McCown at UTSA, 25-10, but they get Texas A&M the first game. Caden Velkamp, Florida Atlantic, 25-10. Pretty good. And then we go to the ACC. We got Carson Beck from Georgia is now on Miami, 28-12. Kevin Jennings, SMU, 23-11. I'd be comfortable with those guys. Cade Klubnik, Clemson, 36-6. So tell me why Arch Manning is the favorite in the Heisman and Cade Klubnik is 36-6. And Arch Manning's 9-2. Can somebody give me some logic there? Pitt, Eli Holstein, 17-7. Duke has Darian Menshaw from Tulane, 22-6. He's a very good quarterback. I'm kind of sad he left Tulane for Duke, but very good quarterback play there. Chandler Morris, my favorite from North Texas, is on Virginia, 31-12. This guy's a star. Florida State's new one is Castellanos, 18-5 at Boston College. And then we get to the Big 18, or as it's called, the Big 10. Indiana gets Mendoza from Cal, 16-6. Drew Aller, Penn State, 24-8. Luke Altmaier, 22-6. Raiola is terrible, 13-11 at Nebraska. Mikey Keene was 18-11. Underwood's the freshman at Michigan. Childs at Michigan State's 13-11. And Nico, the volleyball player, is 19-5 at UCLA. Stones at SMU is at Northwestern. He was pretty good. We don't know who Maryland's quarterback is. There was like 3 or 4. You do have the Kansas offensive coordinator at Penn State, although they averaged 33 a game, which wasn't bad. Sayan is a sophomore from Alabama. I don't know how that's going to work at Ohio State. And Oregon has Dante Moore, who was decent at UCLA for a while, turned the ball over all the time. They had to replace him. He's their quarterback at Oregon, so don't look for Oregon to save you. So that's where you lay off, is you see these good quarterbacks, and then you see the bad ones, and that's when the team gets in trouble. Look at Michigan last year. They didn't have a quarterback. They sucked. Ohio State had Will Howard, who was very good at Kansas State, I thought. He'll play behind Aaron Rodgers. He's very good. Kansas State, then Ohio State, and now the Steelers. I think the Steelers have a real good quarterback, much better than Tennessee. So that's what you're looking for week 1. Now you've got the experienced quarterbacks, and now it looks like the Big 12 has most of the good ones. TCU, Baylor, Iowa State, Kansas State. I mean, these are the good quarterbacks, and that's what you want to bet on. LSU and Clemson's statistically has the best one in Klubnik, 33-6. Everything else is in the 20s. It was a very down year last year for quarterbacks. You'd have obviously with Tom Brady is not one to look at. He had like 10, but with Burrow, he had like 54 touchdowns. He was a no-brainer first pick. But normally you have 40 some touchdowns. Now it's all like you're just not you had a lot of 20s and you had a few 30s. Not a lot of 30s really. So it's coming down. It's just like baseball. There's no 300 hitters. Basketball, nobody can dunk. And football, you got 4 or 5 good quarterbacks, and that's it. So everything's getting watered down. The analytics is killing sports. It's not, as this guy said today, the analytics is helping the pitcher, not the hitter. And I don't buy any of that. Analytics is ruining the game because the batters are trying to hit home runs and they're striking out all the time. And the pitchers keep blowing their arms out. So I don't see that helping. But I think that's what I got to believe, is that you're looking at just very, very weak talent, or the analytics, they can't figure it out. I don't buy the defense, especially in football. There's so many, you can't touch the receiver. They should be scoring 40 points a game, and they're getting like 20, half of them. So I don't believe the analytics in football at all. This going for it on 4th down has to stop, and this going for 2-point conversions has to stop. I never see anybody get a 2-point conversion when it means something, and these 4th downs are just killing you. All right, Daniels has a little knack. Philadelphia plays rugby on 4th down, but generally, there's something called field position, punting the ball inside the 10, Ray Guy. and then let's play some defense. Well, what's wrong with that? Well, our defense isn't any good because we're spending all our money on our quarterback and our offensive linemen, and the wide receivers got to get 30 million. I've never seen anything like it. It's really, really bizarre how stupid the GMs and the coaches are. And I can't pitch the guy every fifth day, but I don't have five good pitchers. Uh, and then I got to go. The bullpen can only pitch one inning. He can't pitch two. So I'm going to lose the game because I go to a 10-0 ERA guy in the ninth because I use my ace in the eighth, but I can't pitch him 2 innings. What is going on here? These are professional athletes and they're being treated like a bunch of, I don't know, a bunch of like non-professionals. All right, let's take a look at gold and silver. So one thing about gold and silver, it runs all night. And we've got silver at 38.23 and gold at 33.51. Gold's making a move. It's just starting to go up. There you go. And silver 38.22. Now, we're disappointed because it hit 39 today. We're not disappointed because it's at 38 and we're expecting it to break through. So we will see. Again, I think as it goes higher, you keep getting the derivatives, keep going higher with it. So just because you see nothing now, as the game goes, people will short it because it went up $1.50 yesterday. So when you see it go up a buck or two, it's going down. It's just derivatives. It's options. Oh, I'm going to short it because it went up. And when it goes down, I'm going to go long because it went down. Like you'll see silver jump tomorrow because it went down to 38.22. It was 39. You'll see it go back up to 39. Problem with silver, for some reason, it goes up 15, 20, 25 cents. Gold, on the other hand, goes up $50, $60. So anyway, we won't get into economics, but we are seeing Trump getting buried by BRICS. BRICS has their new system backed by gold already out. I don't know what Trump's doing. He's trying to do tariffs on them. We don't use your system. It's like somebody telling me, well, you can't use your euro. Well, that's fine. I use dollars. I don't use euros. I don't have anything to do with the euro. Well, I'm gonna tax you if you use the euro. And it's like, but I use this, and that's what it is. Oh, I'm gonna tariff BRICS because he knows it's a bad thing to do. Is tariff. I'm gonna tariff anybody BRICS going against the dollar. It's anti-American. Hey, it's got nothing to do with America. You've been bullying them and tariffing them, and they're just going to a different system. It's not anti-American competition, and you can't handle competition. But I mean, to do a tariff on a BRICS country doesn't make sense because they're trading amongst themselves. China's trading more with the other countries than they do with America now. So what's Trump doing? How's it going to hurt anybody? So anyway, that's where that is. So I think that's it. I'm done to the Mac and the Sun Belt, and maybe I'll do them together. I'll just fly through them. The key is on my sheet is the returning quarterbacks. We see the good ones. You can see Klubiak sticks out with the 33 touchdowns, the 7 picks. So that's what you have there. You have that. You have that data. It's all about the data. You have the data. So with the data, you know exactly. You can trust and bet Klubiak. Against Newsmeyer, you can bet on a high-scoring game. In the other game, Ohio State, Texas, you can't bet either. How can Arch Manning be ahead of the Newsmeyer and Klubeck? Are you kidding me? They're both going to put up 30, 35 touchdowns. Arch Manning, be lucky if he throws 15. He's not a good thrower. He's a good rusher, but he's 9-2 last year. And probably, well, not in the bowl games. He didn't play. They played an injured, whatever the guy's name was, who, I don't know, he was drafted pretty low, Urs. So, he didn't transfer because, I don't know, I guess Texas is paying him a lot of money. So he'll make all his money in college, which is ridiculous. College is not professional. Why are they making it professional? Why do these idiots on the radio go, well, I don't have a problem with the guy making money? Well, it's an amateur, it's amateur athletics. This is college. This is not professional. He shouldn't make $8 million in college. Okay. I don't know who's paying them. I think it's way out of hand. And how do the other players on the team feel? Are you paying the right guard and the left tackle? Are you paying the cornerback? Are you paying the safety? You know, if you're not like first team All American, you're probably not paying them, my guess. So I don't know. I think it's a big problem, and it's like going for it on fourth down. It's big problems. All right, I think I'm done. I got to cook some chicken. I'm always eating and cooking and cooking and eating. I had dinner. I'm not going to eat dinner. It's been in the fridge, so I got to cook it. I got a little salmon left, and then I'll eat my chicken. I'll rotate in my chicken tomorrow. And that's about it. So happy Monday, and we will go from there. So, did hear from Daria. Um, I asked her a question like, "Where have you been all week?" And I asked her 2 or 3 questions, and she said yes. So I don't know which questions she answered. I think I said she told me the internet's being blocked on the phone in Russia. So I asked her that question, and I think that's what she was saying. Yes, the internet was blocked because I could see her on, but she wasn't responding to me. So I think that's what happened. Like I said, the daughter is coming home from the hospital tomorrow. We're all pretty happy. Her birthday was a couple weeks ago, so we're going to celebrate it tomorrow, and to hopefully cheer her up. She needs to be cheered up. And I think that's about it. So have a good night, everybody. I will be on normal. So I'm going to just finish up with these football conferences. Like I said, I might 10 over again. It was too much reading the guy's input. You don't want that. You want my input. So I'll probably do the Big Ten again. But I got MAC and Sun Belt tomorrow. I'll probably do them together. And then I'll redo the Big Ten. And we went through the lines earlier today. So that was good. And now after rereading and the coach and the quarterback, now I'll do some picking. I still like Georgia Tech, that lady mentioned yesterday, but I always like Haynes King. So that's what I like. But they are at Colorado, but they should beat them. But, we've got some key games, Notre Dame, Miami, LSU, Clemson, Georgia gets Marshall, and the whole team's gone. 47 players left. The coach left. It'll be like a practice for Georgia. They're going to be upset. They didn't do well in the playoffs. So we'll keep an eye on that. Anyway, I think that's it. Again, go run and buy your gold and silver. We see Bricks has kind of went out and are live now with their systems and Goldback. So they're all buying gold, and the physical price of gold's got to be a lot higher than this COMEX price. Again, it's up here and COMEX is here. Even though they're fucking around on COMEX, we know COMEX won't last. Yes, it's been around 50 years, but now it's done. The variables changed to bricks and gold, and COMEX can't. It's a game that you can't ask for physical, and as soon as you ask for physical, the game folds up and it'll be out. Then they'll go play Bitcoin, and that's it. And so keep that in mind. You want to go and buy your gold and silver now because it's silver. You saw it hit 39, drop back to 38 today. It's still dirt cheap. So you'll want to do that. So anyway, www.teaserking.com, and you'll get yours truly. I will see you tomorrow. All right. Have a nice night, everybody. Take care.